and welcome into On the Go. You know, when somebody new comes to Montgomery, Alabama, there are certain things that are a must-see. On the top of the list in Montgomery is the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, because you pull in to that area and all of a sudden this beautiful building just takes your breath away, and that's the theater. And they've been doing things for many, many years. I call it one of the jewels that we have in Montgomery, Alabama. And to keep those jewels shined, you need some special people. Today with us, Eddie Crowell. And Eddie, you are currently the executive director of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, soon to relinquish that title.
That is correct.
Look at a smile on his face. And we'll get into that in just a second. Katherine Perkowski, and you are the public relations and marketing director for Shakespeare. You do an excellent job, young lady.
Thank you.
Great job. And first, I'm going to go back to Eddie. You took on this job about, what, 16 months ago?
Matter of fact, it was 7 months ago.
Just, oh my God,
7
it
months
seems like
ago.
it just seems like that length of
16.
time. And of course, it was at the request of the city officials, because we were in a transition period where they needed to bring in a new executive director, and they went to the go-to guy, because you get a lot of things done and you understand the situation, and you've done an excellent job.
Well, I'm pleased to have had the opportunity.
Great.
Sure am.
And tell us a little bit about your replacement.
My replacement, well, we've hired him. His name is Todd Schmidt. Todd is an Alabamian from the Birmingham area originally, graduated from Auburn, and then went off to do other and great things. And he is coming from New Jersey, Paper Mill Theater, and he will be officially on board on the 4th of June. So we're excited about Todd coming, you know, the board has put in place a dual management process at Shakespeare Theater, where the artistic director and the executive director runs in a parallel mode.
Okay.
Unlike in the past, where you had a
One here, one there.
producing artistic
Right.
director, now just an artistic director. And Rick Dildine came on board in August of this past year. So we've got 2 new leaders, and they complement each other because we're very, very deep background in the theater business.
Great, great. Katie, give us a sneak under the tent. What's coming up between now and the end of the year? Lots of things.
Lots of things. Well, you know, we opened Annie, which is a great family
Yes.
musical, on July 4th. And we were talking before we started about your grandchildren recently being in a production of Annie. So I know that you're excited to come see it on the big stage.
Absolutely.
We always love it when we have a dog in a show. And once again, we have a Broadway dog. The dog that we have coming
That's from
from
New
New
York.
York actually was in the movie
Is
of
that right?
Annie recently with Jamie Foxx.
Wow.
That movie, yeah. We have the same dog.
Right.
That's interesting.
That
Yeah.
way you don't have to worry about what the dog is going to do on stage.
Yes, this
They're
will be-
well
This
trained,
is one trained dog.
seasoned actors.
So it starts the first week of July.
It starts July
and
4th.
you will go how long?
It runs through August 5th. We've
August
done something
5th.
differently this year. You know, in previous years with the Disney musicals, we've done a rollout where we've added shows if we felt like we needed them. We're just making an assumption that people are going to love the show and come to the show because we know that Montgomery loves a good family musical.
Yes.
So we went ahead, and the whole run is July 4th through August 5th, and you can get tickets for all of those performances now.
Great, great. And when you say for all those performances, that's 7 days a week?
Yeah, it's actually 6 days a week.
6
We
days.
take Mondays off.
Okay, good.
Mondays
So
are
Monday
our
you're
dark
dark.
day,
Right.
but Tuesday through Sunday you could see it.
Wow. And on the weekends they'll have matinees.
Yes, we'll have weekend matinees. We'll also have a single weekday matinee
Good.
that
good.
will either be Wednesday or Thursday every week.
Great,
Great.
that's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Good.
People like those weekday matinees.
And again, bringing children, obviously, because it has an appeal to children.
Yes.
But it should probably start at what, at about 5 years old, you think?
I say 5 years
Strongly,
old. I mean,
yeah.
sometimes you can skew a little bit younger if you have a child who can sit for an hour, and you know your child. You know, you know,
Oh, yeah.
you know if
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
make it through. But they have to be able to sit in their own seat and you know, absorb things. So I recommend 5.
That's great. And then after that, going into the fall?
Going into the fall, we have Menopause the Musical, which is a big, like,
Yeah.
crowd-pleasing kind of hit.
Yes, that is.
Everybody loves that.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's just good fun, and it's nice because it's really accessible. It's something half the population experiences at some point. So
Absolutely.
and it's just very
No,
filled
100%
with
of the
humor.
population experiences it.
That's
You're there.
true.
Well,
That's
You're at one end or the other end.
Absolutely.
So that starts August 26th and will run through mid-September. And again, there'll be that's all public shows. It's not something we school fest or anything like
Right,
that.
that's
So
right.
so
And that's
it'll be
for,
a
that's
real,
for obviously a mature audience.
a mature audience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we do have one other thing coming up after that, a show called Sometimes Patsy Cline. September 22nd and 23rd. You know, we had Always Patsy Cline, which is a show a lot of people are familiar with, but our Patsy Cline, Jacqueline Petrosia, is just excellent. I mean, she is Patsy Cline when she's on stage. And she has done that role all over the country and has developed this show of her own where it's a cabaret performance where she talks about being Patsy Cline. She talks about the different kind of famous actors she's worked with along the way, and does a selection of songs, not just Patsy Cline, but also some Broadway hits.
Eddie, are you guys doing a fundraiser? Usually
Yes,
do a,
yes, we are. We've got two venues going. We've got Stars in the Park.
Okay.
And that will be on the 3rd of July.
all right.
And we're gonna put it in conjunction with the city. It's gonna be a major community festivity.
Okay.
And
Is there a charge to come to that?
No.
No, that's totally free.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, and obviously the stars of Annie will be in that setting.
Wow.
One of the other things we're going to do, we're going to break up the Declaration of Independence into 52 different components, parts, and we're going to have a reading of those, and those selected to read will be the makeup of the city of Montgomery.
Wow. Nice.
Ethnicity, age, race, and all.
Wonderful.
Great.
And so we're excited about that, and we've got a selection committee that will
Get that
basically
together.
get that together. And in addition to the Stars in the Park, we've got Benefit the Bard coming up, which
Yep.
will be on the 18th of August, and we've got the Fifth Dimensions and
Nice.
the Spinners.
Nice. I'll be there.
love
Give me front row for that,
Hey,
buddy.
you got
front row. Well, listen, thanks so much for all that you do. Obviously, if you want some
You
information,
can go to asf.net
.net
and then
and get all the information you need.
334-271-5353 is the box
great.
office.
That'd be, and we'll have all that supered on the screener. All else fails, call me. You heard about it. It's wonderful. If you've never been there, shame on you. If you've been there, you're singing the praises, and we'll be right back right after this.